know what is happening here. Ah! Okay, we need to start afresh. But yeah. Hello and welcome once again, y'all, to Passion Theory. Howdy, howdy, everybody. So, I will be playing the third part in Equinox, the story of this little bunny. And I just got double jump skills. Yeah. Alright. Now we do this part where I fail at platforming. And double jump, apparently, even when I don't need to. My room got cold and I got all sniffly. Alright, so the story today, I promised a ghost story. But which one should I tell? I've got ghost stories that have happened to me. I've got ghost stories that have happened to my mom. I've got ghost stories that have happened to my grandma. We kind of passed them all down. Luckily, my son has no ghost stories to tell because he's never lived in a haunted house. He has never had to deal with the nonsense of a haunted house. Oops. Oops. Okay, got it. Let's see. I will tell the story. I will tell one of my grandma's stories. So, when my grandmother was a younger woman, she had a couple of sons, and she was pregnant with another one. And they were looking for a place to live, and they came across this little farm. And their first clue, something was probably not right with this little farm, is that the locals called it Painted Holler. And if you know anything about southern dialect, there is a moon shard down there. Okay, I suppose we have to go get it. Painted Holler roughly translates to Haunted Hollow. So, like, everyone was already basically saying, hey, yo, this place is haunted. Oh, no. Okay. The second thing that was like, a red flag was that in the house, I don't know if back in the day they didn't do, like, house tours to show you your new house before you agreed to buy it, or if you just bought stuff unseen. I don't know. But after they moved into the house, they noticed that one of the rooms was boarded up. So they did, what you do when you find a boarded up room, and unlocked it, like, took all the boards down, and, apparently the whole room was painted black. Just the walls, the ceiling. Okay, so the walls, the ceiling, it got my booty twice. Oh, come on. That should have been like a one heart type of a boot. Anyway, so the whole room was painted black. The ceiling, the floors, everything was painted black. And, the room gave my grandma the willies, and she told my grandfather to just board it back up. She just wanted nothing to do with this extra room. And so that's what they did. They boarded it back up, and they never went in there again. And that's not, that's not necessarily a ghost story, but that's part of, setting the scene here. So this was a farm, and it was like out in the middle of the nowhere, and it had a big, long gravel road, and you could see everybody, and hear everybody who was coming up to the house before they got there. So, it's not like people were, whoa, no! Oh no, it was so far when I fell. It's not like people were, like, sneaking into the house and doing weird stuff. It, legit was, when weird things happen, they couldn't blame it on, oh, maybe somebody snuck in and did stuff. So anyway, the long driveway will come into play in later stories that I'll tell probably, but... So, What just happened there? I just not paying attention. Okay, so my grandmother would sometimes hear babies crying in the middle of the night. And while she was pregnant, her sons were not like infants at this time. And so that was weird enough for her. But sometimes they would hear the sound of like a ball rolling down the stairs too, like at night and just random times, and people like whispering and talking and all through the house. But the weirdest thing I think as a kid when my mom would tell me these stories, I think the weirdest part was that when she was doing dishes, right? She would turn, like she'd be doing the dishes and then she'd be setting the dishes beside her. Because back then you had to you had to do the dishes, wash them, and then dry them all by hand, right? So she would wash the dishes and then dry them, and like sometimes there'd still be a little bit residual water on them. So she set them neatly beside her, like upside down, like cups upside down on a towel to dry. Well, she'd do this and then she would hear like clink, and she'd look over and the cups would be stacked on top of each other. So she was more than a little freaked out because there was no one else in the room with her. Whoops. Okay. And it's gonna be one of those things. I haven't even been counting how many times I've died yet. But yeah, and then so one time while this was happening, she screwed up her courage, right? And she stacked the cups next to her, like she always did, like side by side. And then she turned and just watched, because usually she would just hear this stuff happening while she turned her back to get to the next dish. And yeah, she saw the dish, like the cup, pick up and go inside the other cup, like all by itself, just hover. And yep, she freaked out. And there was other things that happened there. I mean, I can probably tell them because there's only like a few more things. And this is going to take me a little while to get through, I'm sure. So let's see. Oh, moon piece is in an easy to get place. Bam! The bunny collects a moon shard. So it's like the halfway point where you get your moon shard. I think once you get the moon shard, you always have it. I don't think it takes it away from you. But okay, some other things that happened there were, so I had mentioned that she was pregnant with another child. I landed on him. Did it take away my moon shard, or did it let me keep my moon shard? I wasn't paying attention. So, anyway, oh my goodness. She was pregnant with another child. And back in those days, it was harder to tell if you were having boys or girls. Because, sonograms weren't quite as good as they are now. If they even had them. I'm pretty sure they did, but they weren't as, detailed. Hang on, I just had to concentrate for a second. So, right, remember when I said there was that long driveway and you could hear anybody come up to the house? Well, one day, she got a knock on the door. She didn't hear a car, nothing. Just, there was a knock on the door, which she thought was bizarre. I landed on that one. I landed on it. There was no reason for that. But yeah, so she thought that was bizarre because usually you can hear a car coming and they're in the middle of nowhere. Like they're driveway is a couple miles long of dirt road, you know? It's an old farm in the middle of nowhere. And she went and answered the door, and there was a man and a woman there. And they told her that they had been sent to give her a message, and that the child she was carrying was a boy, and that they needed to name him John Paul. And if they did not name him John Paul, he would grow up to be evil. And then they just left. They just walked away. And when they rounded the barn, she was kind of following them out because she was trying to, from a distance, because she was trying to see where their car was or what the heck was going on. And when they rounded the barn, they weren't there anymore, and there was no car. She never heard a car, and she never saw them again. And she did end up naming her son John Paul. And I won't say he turned out great, but my goodness, felt like I was so close. I won't say he was evil. He just had a lot of problems in his life, like drug addiction and things like that. But maybe had she not named him that, he would have been like a mass murderer or something. I don't know. Boop, boop, boop. Cannot believe I didn't die just then. Okay, I'm going to take a break just a second. Okay, and then, let's see. The only other story I have from the Haunted Holler is, kind of involves that long driveway again. One time, she did hear a car driving up. It does take away your moon shard. That's hacks. Okay, I got my moon shard again. Anyway, so she heard a car driving up, and then all of a sudden, just nothing, no sound. Great, I'm gonna have to go get that stupid moon shard again. So she heard a car driving up, but then it's just the sound of the car stopped, and she never saw a car. So she went out around that barn again, and lo and behold, there were tire marks that just stopped. It's like the car was driving and then it was just picked up straight into the sky. Okay, that was an accident, and so was that. Okay. My fingers are starting to hurt again. Okay, I am going to cut out the rest of this until I get further along. But those are my spooky stories about my grandma's stay at the Haunted Holler. And they moved out after that, after the cup thing. The cup thing happened one too many times and freaked my grandma out, and they moved. Oh my god. I could see the end. I could see the end. Okay. I'm gonna have some coffee, and I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna come back to this nonsense. Ugh. Okay. Okay. So I have learned that the moon shards are at about the halfway point. My husband also thinks that the hitboxes on these little star guys are way too big, but I think that's just him trying to make me feel better. I made it to the end! how many attempts? I'll have to count. The burr! Ursa Major, the burr. Hey, burr. Hey, I know how to deal with your kind now. So, we have so many stirs. Come on, get your tail. Oh gosh. Gotta run out of here quickly. Sure if I can do this in the first try. Do, 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 do. Spooky music. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I guess doing it on the first try is not gonna happen. Oh yes, I forgot. Don't let yourself be slammed into the little red star. Okay. Tail. Bears do not have this big of tails. No, I'm getting all your paws while you're right here. Oh, I guess I'll have to wait. Get your tails then. Whoops. Okay. Oh. Ran into that stupid star. Okay. Got one more heart and one more star. I did it!
His method was always to fight, unaware that violence could never be right.
There are distinct times when violence is right. Just saying.
After the failure of the wolf, the king sent the mighty bear to obtain the moon. The king had begun to lose patience with his court, but knew that the bear would use all of her strength. As the day's sun wore away, she set out from the castle, traveling through the vast forest towards the horizon.
Is the king like a lion or something? Like, who is bossing around bears?
The amber sky faded to inky black, and still she traveled onwards. She lumbered towards the setting moon, beady eyes focused on her target. The bear waited until the moon hung low in the sky, and then reared up, reaching as high as she could. Her vicious claws slashed skyward, thrashing at the moon to no avail.
Yeah, it's because it's you know, again, millions and millions of miles
She brought
away.
down her paws with all her might in a powerful stomp, but still, the moon refused to fall. Defeated, the bear had to return to the king, empty-handed.
Aww. bear's in trouble, I guess. Upon picking up the moon shard, the bunny is overcome with a sense of urgency. They have learned the double dash ability. Well, the dash ability, I have not used it at all. It has not been great. Double jump. Double jump is what we're here for, though. Use the spacebar immediately after dashing to double dash. Oh, we got, like, a different background? Have we been getting different backgrounds each time and I just haven't noticed? Okay, so it looks like we only have 2 moonshard pieces left. And, thank you once again for watching. I'll see you next time, and have an amazing day.